Welcome back, folks. You're watching Sport Federation TV. It's great to have you along. Of course, as you know, we keep talking sport in the Western Cape. And for those of you that are not aware of how sport is structured in the province, it's of course structured across 6 districts. It would be the Cape Town area, the Cape Winelands area, of course the West Coast, the Overberg, the Eden area, and of course the Central Karoo area. Now, for those of you that also don't know, tennis is one of the biggest sports in South Africa. In fact, one of the highest viewership. And for those of you that don't know, tennis is very active in the Central Karoo. To tell me more about that, from Western Cape Tennis, I've got Roxanne Clarke back on the line. She's becoming now our formal tennis media liaison of just about. Roxanne, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, JP. Always good to chat to you.
Yeah, it's great to talk to you because now we find out firsthand what's happening with tennis across the districts, across the province. We can find out about your athletes. We can, of course, find out about your competitions. So this is really, and of course, you can tell us a little bit about how we're doing on an international basis. But today we're going to talk a little bit about tennis in the Central Karoo. I believe they've had a big tournament recently.
Yeah, I mean, for the Central Karoo, I feel like they are the furthest away from anybody else in the province. So to get some news out of there from them and to get programs and tournaments going there is always a fan. And I think that the Central Karoo Tennis Federation will be really happy to know that we're sharing some news on this event that they had. So they hosted a tennis tournament. It was a doubles tournament. It's called the Central Karoo Doubles Classic, and that tournament was held in September. And although, I mean, it was in September, I think it's a good platform to use to speak about it because this is the third year that they've hosted this event, and they will continue to host the event because year on year, the event seems to be getting more exposed and becoming more popular. So it's a great week or a great few days that they have up in the Central Karoo in Beaufort West. And yeah, just really great to be here talking about it today.
Just tell us a little bit before we focus on that. We in fact in the last few interviews have not spoken that much about doubles tennis. We've spoken a lot about tennis, but we haven't mentioned the fact that of course you have mixed doubles and doubles.
Yeah, I mean, in South Africa, we have a very rich tradition of doubles and mixed doubles. We have some Grand Slam champions, and I could name them, but I don't want to miss anybody.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few doubles Grand Slam champions, and for the past few years in South Africa, doubles has sort of taken a hit. We have a really rich tradition of doubles. Whether you go in to play college tennis in the US, or go on the pro tour, or just play locally. I mean,
Yeah.
doubles, we have some very good talent here in South Africa, and so having a doubles tournament in the I think is fantastic. We need to have more doubles tournaments as it is.
Now, of course, the Central Karoo area is geographically quite interesting. A lot of towns are very far from each other, the likes of Merweville and Lanesburg and Beaufort West. And of course, Central Karoo is a really, really big area. Do we see that athletes from other districts or other provinces also get to compete in Central Karoo, or do they kind of focus more on local structures when they do competitions?
Well, the Central Karoo Tennis Federation really wanted players to come from other provinces. So they had this initiative where they paid the accommodation of anybody who was coming from far for 2 nights for the tournament. And they also gave each participant 250 towards their petrol for those who traveled from far. So they are obviously encouraging a lot to come from out of the province or from the other districts in the province to come and play, which is absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, that's a great way to get competitors involved. I mean, considering that those are the type of logistical challenges all athletes, all club structures, federations have, is transport, accommodation, and here we've got the Central Karoo structure taking care of those things, which I suppose also helps the athletes. It helps them from the perspective that they can just concentrate on playing.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Valerie Goliath from the Central Karoo Tennis Federation, and she said to me that the atmosphere around the event was just so jovial, and everybody was just happy to be there and share with each other and be able to compete in this tournament here in Beaufort West. So for them, it was also nice to have the players from out of the province, because the other players, and especially young players who are from the Central Karoo, from Beaufort West, Langsburg, they are able to sort of host to these players and be inspired by them. I think that was one of the things, or two of the things, that she was very happy about and very proud of.
And your immediate focus at the moment, Roxanne, we know that you're very busy with the transformation and development at Western Cape Tennis. Since we spoke last, I think 3 weeks ago, any new developments?
Yeah. Well, this weekend is the Cape Town Tennis Masters. When we last spoke, they were about to be Cape Islands, which was completed, and so for the juniors, it's the Cape Town Masters this weekend, and then the new year starts. So for tennis in South Africa, the new year starts around 1st of December when the coastal tournaments start, which is big for us. We have 2 growth point Super 8s, as they call them. Those are the most competitive tournaments outside of the nationals. So we've got 2 of them here, one in the Cape Winelands and one in Cape Town. And so that's basically the most important stuff coming up. But then in other stuff, we have a really, really big coaching course happening here next week here in Cape Town, which is some of the best coaches in the country are coming to do what we call a Coach of High Performance Players course. So that's with professional players. Helping and assisting with facilitating that course, so that'll be really exciting. And yeah, these are just it's a very exciting time of the year, JP. We've got tournaments, courses, so much action going on.
Is that something that happens on a regular basis, Roxanne? Coaching courses? We know some of the sport codes have got various levels, level 1s, 2s, and 3s, and so on. But is that something that tennis does on a regular basis? Is coaching courses?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of coaching courses that run through the year, mostly based on need. So there's new coaches who are being trained all the time, which is what we call our play tennis level, which is the first one. Then, of course, we have level 1, and then we have a level 2 and level 3. And so this one, the Coach of High Performance Players in our South African tennis structure, is called a level 4.
All right, okay. And is that the level then that one would get started if you're a tennis fan? Maybe you've played a bit of tennis and you now want to start teaching. You sign up and you start with your level 4 course.
No, you start with the play tennis course, which is the first course, which teaches sort of you use modified balls, so it's a red ball and orange ball, which is sort of depressurized a little bit, so younger kids can play, and you use the modified equipment. So once they get people at that level, once you've sort of done that course, it's a competency-based course. So when you pass the course, you are able to obviously go right into the work field. And then we do a level 1 course, which is a beginner intermediate.
So it's the other way around.
So the play tennis
level
course
4 is the more advanced.
Yeah.
And, I love it when you're teaching me more about tennis.
Yeah, so the play tennis course is for people who are under 10, basically.
Roxanne, we're going to leave it at that. We're looking forward to catching up with you again. It's great to be finding out on a weekly basis what's happening in the world of tennis, because we know that you're so busy.
Absolutely.
And we love the fact that you're on TV and tennis is getting exposure every week.
JP, we have you to thank for that. I love being here and talking to you. It's been great, and I'm sure it will continue to be great. So thank you so much for giving us that opportunity.
Thanks, Roxanne. There we go, folks. Roxanne Clarke from Western Cape Tennis. She is also the captain of the Billie Jean King Cup. That's, of course, the women's tennis South Africa team. For those of you that didn't know, the Billie Jean King Cup is the women's South Africa tennis team. Oh, that's the tennis team. And then the Davis Cup is the men's side. A little bit of education for me all the time, and great to find out from Roxanne what's happening in the world of tennis. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking sport in the province. Back in a sec.